So here is your first look at a real and a fake pair of Nike Air Max 95 Essential. Can you spot any differences? Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a real and a fake pair of Nike Air Max 95 Essential. I'll be pointing out the differences between the two pairs so that when you're looking to purchase a pair for yourself, hopefully you can avoid buying a fake pair with the belief that they're actually a real pair. So with that said, let's start the video. So looking at the packaging, keeping the real ones on the left and the fake ones on the right, the first thing that you'll notice is that the real ones come in this standard red Nike box. And if we take a look at the size label on the side here, you'll see that it says Nike Air Max 95 Essential. And for this colourway, which is the black/black colourway, this is the product code that should be on the box. If we take a look at the fake ones, however, you'll notice that similarly to other fake Nike shoes I've reviewed, they come in this plastic bag with the Nike print on the front. If the pair you have bought or you are looking at have this packet with the Nike print on the front or without, then assume straight away that the pair is fake. If we take a look inside the box on the real pair, you'll notice that the shoes are wrapped in this plain tissue paper. You will also notice that there's no other accessories inside the box with the shoes, just the shoes themselves. If we take a look at this plastic bag that the fake ones came in, however, you'll notice that we have this accessory here, and basically this pair of Nike Air Max 95 should not come with any additional accessories. So if there's anything else in the bag, such as this band or anything else that you can see, then assume that the pair is fake. Moving on to the shoes themselves, keeping the real ones on the left and the fake ones on the right, something that you will see straight away is that the material that runs around the shoe here is slightly different on each pair. So on the real pair, you'll notice that the second part of material up here is actually a suede type material, whereas if we take a look at that on the fake one, you'll see that there is a sort of suede material, maybe slightly different, but it carries on across two parts here, so the bottom and the second part in. Whereas on the real one, on the bottom part, we have a leather which has this sort of print on it, and on the part of the material above, we have this crisscross material, as you can see there, if I just show you that up close. On the fake, they have tried to replicate that crisscross material, but it's sort of tiled instead, and as I already mentioned, these two parts here at the bottom are completely different. So I'll just put those side by side next to the camera to give you a better idea. This is what you are looking for on the real pairs, and if it's anything different like it is on this pair here, then assume again that the pair is fake. If we take a look at the toe box on each shoe, you will see that the material here is also different. So on the real pair, it's a plain leather finish, and this leather is the same as the part of material that runs along here and here on the shoe. And I'll just show you that up close. Whereas on the fake, it's a suede type material again, which is the same material as is on this part of the shoe here and here on the inner side. So if I just put those up close for you, this is what we should be looking for on all real pairs of Air Max 95 Essential, this plain leather finish here along the toe. If we take a look at the tongues of the shoe, you will see that on the real one, the material is a sort of grey colour, and it's just slightly different to the colour on most of the rest of the shoe. However, on the fake pair, it's fully black, as you can see here. Also, if we look at the Air Max logo, there's a lighter coloured stitching that runs across it, where the Air Max text is. Whereas on the fake pair, again, this is just all black and matches up the same to the tongue. Also, if we take a look at the tongues and try and bend them, you will see that on the real pair, the tongue is a lot firmer and harder to bend, and you definitely can't bend it across the Air Max logo, as you can see here. If we take a look at the fake one, however, the tongue is a lot more flimsy and you can easily bend it across the Air Max logo. It just moves around a lot more freely. Another detail to look out for on the laces and the lace holes specifically is that on the lace holes on the real pair, they're all one colour and they have these lines going through them the whole way up. Whereas on the fake pair, you'll see that the lace holes are actually two different colours, so they have a black trim around the edge and a grey trim running through the middle. And as I mentioned, on the real ones, it should just be one colour and should also have these lines going through. If we look at the laces themselves, in contrast to the lace holes, it seems to be the real pair that has two colours on them this time. So on the real pair, you will see that it's a black and grey material going across the laces the whole way up. And also, if I just show you them there, you can see that the real laces are almost reflective. If we take a look at the fake laces, however, you will see that they are just one colour and they are all black the whole way up. And also, if I show you them there in the light, they are not reflective as the ones on the real pair are. If we take a look at the heels of the shoe from behind, you'll see that the main difference here is that the real pair is slightly taller than the fake pair. However, that's obviously something that's hard to tell when you haven't got both pairs side by side. The other difference though, however, that will be easy to tell is if you look at the Nike Air print on the back of the heel here. On the real pair, it's just slightly dented into the material, whereas on the fake pair, it's more of a stamp over the top, as you can see there. Also, underneath the Nike Air logo on the heel, you can see that this material here is layered. So if I just show you that up close, the bottom part looks like it's stuck onto the part in between. It's just at a different level. And then the middle part again looks like it's stuck on the top part here where the Nike Air logo is. So just three different layers of material there. And if you run your finger across, you can feel where it dips on each part. If we take a look at the fake one, however, it's just flat the whole way across. So there's no layer into those bits of material. Whereas on the real one, as I showed you, you can clearly see the different layering to those three parts of material there. If we take a look at the inner lining on the shoes, you'll see that on the real one, it has a clear pattern here, and it's quite a rough material, as you can hear when I rub against it. Whereas on the fake pair, it's got no pattern in it at all, and it's just quite padded. And yeah, a completely different material, a lot softer, but a completely different material to that of the real one. Looking at the soles of the shoe, they're very similar. However, I can just see a slight difference in the print towards the back of the shoe. So on the real pair, you'll see that this Nike Air print is just here. And to give you an idea of where that should be, there is a dip in the sole of the shoe, and on the back half of the dip, that is where the Nike Air logo is lined up to. So I'll just show you that there. Whereas on the fake one, that Nike Air text is a lot more central in the shoe and almost in the middle of the dip, as you can see there. Also, for the rest of this print that is around the Nike Air logo, you'll see that this runs all the way up towards the top here, where on the real one, it almost has a diamond type print at the top end, as you can just see there in the light. Whereas on the fake one, it is just straight lines going across. So just a slight difference there to look out for. For the insoles, again, they're very similar. The only thing that I would say is different really is the material and the Nike Air size. So on the real one, the Nike Air size is slightly bigger than that on the fake, as you can see here. And again, similarly to this material around here, we have a sort of etched pattern on the sole, and you can scratch against that. Whereas on the fake one, it's just a plain sole, and there's no sort of design to it at all, maybe just straight lines, but a completely different design to the insole on the real ones, as you can see there. Looking at the size labels inside the shoe, you'll see that on the real one, we have the size label here with the sizing for all the different regions in the top left. We also have a barcode on the bottom right, but the main thing to look out for here is that the product code, as we can see there, matches the product code that is on the box, as it does with this pair here. And also, if you type this product code in online, that all of the big retailers come back with this exact model of Air Max 95 in this exact colourway. If we take a look at the size label on the fake one, however, you'll see that it's Nike's old style label where the sizing for the different regions is all listed across like this, and a long barcode is at the bottom of the label. However, if we look at the product code in between, so you can just see that there, and type that product code in online, it returns a completely different model of shoe. So it's a different type of Air Max, a different colourway, just different altogether. And also, obviously, that product code would not match the product code on the side of the box. Also worth noting that the material around the edge of the size label is different on the real and the fake pair, and also the tongue material itself is different on both pairs. So on the real pair, you can see that the tongue material is the same as this lining that we showed you around the heel and inner area, where you can scratch against it, and it has this design all across it. And this also carries on around the edge of the label, but just in a white print where there's been a sticker put over the top of it, as you can see there. However, on the fake one, the inner side of the tongue is a sort of soft material again, the same material that we can see here in the heel. And the lining around the edge of the size label is all one colour and doesn't have that print on it as it does on the real pair. So I'll just put those side by side so you can get a good look. Looking at the air bubbles on the shoes from behind, you'll notice that the air bubble on the fake is basically a lot bigger. So if we look at the real pair here, you will see that the air bubble's width is basically the same as the top of the heel of the shoe. So from either end of the air bubble, if it goes straight up, it finishes basically in line with the heel here, each side. And if it's any different to that, as it is on the fake one here, where it goes straight up and goes well past the heel, then assume that the pair is fake. One final thing that I noticed that is different between the two shoes is that if we look between the lace holes here on the real pair, we have this material, and this material is the same as the material on this part of the tongue that runs in between these gaps. However, it's just slightly a different colour, but this is the finish that it should be. Whereas if we look in the same area on the fake shoe, you will see that it has this material which does match up to the tongue in the same area, but it just has a lot larger mesh holes on it here, which is completely different to what is on the real one. So I'll just put those side by side. And this here is what we're looking for on real ones. And if it's anything different, like it is here on the fake pair, with these large mesh holes, then assume that the pair is fake. So thanks for watching the video. If you could please like and subscribe, then that would help me greatly, as it allows me to grow the channel and to make more videos like this. Also, if you do have something else that you would like to see me review, then please leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to cover as many of those as I can. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.